Yo, what's going on, people? Good morning. It's your boy Uche again with another video. First of all, I want to say thank you to all the people who have recently joined my TikTok. Every single one of you guys who came through, especially black folks, especially most specifically black Americans who have joined my TikTok, who see my message, okay, who see the point of my message. It's very frustrating being a black person in a capitalistic white supremacist world. It's very frustrating. And I know damn well if me as a black person from Nigeria who was born in Nigeria can feel this, I can only imagine what black Americans feel. You know, like being born and raised in America, a white supremacist nation where you are constantly reminded that you are not the preferred. It must be frustrating. But more specifically, if you are a black woman, okay, especially a dark-skinned black woman, I can only imagine what a dark-skinned black American woman faces every single day of her life because she has to deal with patriarchy, she has to deal with white supremacy, she has to deal with colorism within the black community, and at the same time too, we all have to be proper citizens. You know, we all have to pay taxes. We all have to give grace to people we know don't give us grace. Okay, we have to wake up every single day and tolerate white people being humans. Okay, we give them grace for being human, but they don't give us grace back when we are being human. And me saying tolerating white people being human is me giving grace, because if I remove that grace, that is us tolerating white people with their fuck shit. Because to be human is to exude fuck shit. So they get to be human. Why we don't get to be humans? When we get to be humans, in spite of our challenges, we get called angry, we get called rude, we get called aggressive. And living in America for 17 years, okay, I'm tired. I was tired of it. I was just exhausted. And that's just me as an immigrant. I can only imagine someone who was born and raised in that community, and that's literally all you know. That must be frustrating. So shout out to all the people, black people, Africans and not, including black Americans, including Caribbean black folks who just recently joined me on TikTok and also on YouTube, who understand that message. Thank you so much. I appreciate the love. And I see some of y'all with the comments, you know, calling me the king and Kunte Kinte King from the Nubian tribe. Oh, you might want to hold your comments, Chad. Hold your comments before you sit down and get comfortable. I also do want to remind y'all that I'm also a gay man, okay? I know some of y'all are ready to clock out just for me saying that I'm a gay man. That's exactly what I'm talking about. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. See, a lot of black people, especially black Americans, actually maybe even specifically more Africans, most specifically Nigerians, I'm used to being in a room filled with black people who understand my message, who appreciate my message. They think I'm the smartest, the coolest, whatever the situation is, until that gay part comes out, and then everything changes. This is the exact same thing that I'm talking about when it comes to being in a room filled with white people, or dealing with white supremacy. I'm used to white people treating me, oh, you're actually smart, and they say it with so much confidence without realizing that's actually quite condescending. When they say actually implies that you didn't think I was smart. You didn't think that about me. And now you are humanizing me because I had to prove my worth to you. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. The same way we black people, we don't like the fact that white people are constantly tolerating us, or we constantly have to force our ways in white spaces. This is the exact same thing it feels to be a queer person. And this is so difficult for someone like me to do because not only am I black, I'm also black from Africa, specifically Nigeria, which is different from being Nigerian, is a bit different from being African. I'm gonna break that down in a different video. And I'm also a queer man. So I get so much oppression from all walks of life. So I know what it feels like to be a black person in a white supremacist world. I know what it feels like to be a black person in America. I know what it feels like traveling as a black African. I know what it feels like traveling as a Nigerian traveler. I know what it feels like to be a gay person. So it hurts so much. So if you are agreeing with me as a black American that white people need to treat us better, that it's not fair that we get to tolerate white people, but they don't tolerate us back. Yet at the same time too, you feel some type of way about me being a gay black man from Africa, but specifically a gay black man, then you are part of the problem. It's already bad enough that these algorithms don't give me any fucking slack because of the kind of message that I talk about. It's bad enough that they don't want to promote my shit because I'm a black person, okay? Black content creators, see, most people don't see this side because most people on the internet are consumers. When you are a content creator like myself, you get to see the dark side of these algorithms. They don't promote people like myself because I don't have the skin color, I don't have the phenotype, I don't have the face, I don't have the voice, I don't have the ethnic. Our names are ethnic sounding. We are not the money makers of white supremacy. Okay, when a white boy or a white girl gets online to talk their shit, the algorithm promotes it because it understands that's what people's biases want to see. And unless I am online talking some fuck shit, trying to perpetuate the same negative narratives as to what they think about us, it will not promote me either. So it's already bad enough that I'm dealing with those algorithms. At the same time, too, I'm dealing with racism, colorism, xenophobia, and then also homophobia. So if you're a black person who agrees with my message, but then my gayness bothers you, you are also part of the fucking problem. Because what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If we want white people to be more accepting of us, of our humanness, of our flaws, we also need to be healing within our own community because no one is going to do it for us. And think about it. A white person is not going to come march for our freedom because that's not their reality. So I cannot blame them. Same thing too. A straight person is not going to come in the gay community and try to fix the shit within the gay community because that's not their reality. I can't blame them. You don't expect a man to go into the women community, if that's even a thing, to fix the fuck shit in the women community. You can't blame them because that's not their reality. The only person who can do that is us. Okay, so we as black people, we need to start holding ourselves accountable and start healing within ourselves. There's so much pain in our community, and pain is a beautiful thing. I've talked about this so many times. Pain just simply means potential energy, but this potential energy is just dormant. It is only released into something of actuality if we hone into it. These people will not teach us how to do it. They have zero interest. What they're going to do is just keep capitalizing off our brokenness and our pain. The only people who can do it is us. And this is what I try to do on this platform. And it's so difficult to do it because one, these algorithms don't support me and I don't get enough support from my own community. Black people, I get flags for being a black person. I get flagged for being an African person. I get flagged for being Nigerian. I get flagged for being queer. I get flagged for being Uche because, I can be all those things, but I'm still Uche. I can only be Uche. It is not my fault that I get to see what I see, okay? I have the gift of seeing life in mathematics. I see everything in mathematical equations that I'm developing. I'm working on a book, actually a couple of books. One of my books is to deconstruct cliches using mathematics. When I say that I see life in mathematics, to break it down to you, I cannot help but see what I see. I can see how what you claim to be, the math is not adding up. I can see the fuck shit in this world. I can see it all, and I know how to break it down, and I don't know how to pretend otherwise. So this is why I do what I do. It's not even a choice at this point. It's a gift from God. These silly algorithms are so trifling. They're trying to box me in. You should see some of the things that they suggest to me, okay? They want me to be a gay advocate so bad. I'm not a gay advocate. Some of these algorithm, suggestions also want me to be a black advocate so bad. I'm not a black advocate anything, okay? Because once they try to box you in, they only promote certain kinds of gay topics. If you notice some of my videos that go viral, it's only very specific kinds of videos. They want to box me in. And for someone who's not spiritually sound, to you think that's success. No, they're trying to spin a narrative. What I do is to break everything down to show everyone that we are all in this shit together. Doesn't matter who you are, white, black, purple, everything in between, straight, gay, everything in between. We're all humans. We're all in this shit together. We all complete each other. But the narcissism in this world, the egotistic apathy in this world is trying to divide and conquer by telling us that we are not the same. A white person is better, straight person is better, and all this foo-foo shit. I just deconstruct all those things, and it's very difficult doing it as a black African queer person because these three groups of people don't get enough love. We don't get enough promotion outside those communities and within those communities. And especially if you are who I am, the kind of person I am. I am an empath and I can't help but notice what I notice. I can't help but feel what I feel. And what I feel is very, very heavy. So thank you to all the people, some of y'all, one or two or three of y'all who actually see the realness in my message and actually really do support me and connect with me, okay? I am not a gay advocate. I am not a black advocate. I am not an African advocate. I'm not any of those things. I'm just Uche, a man who has the ability to see life in mathematics and deconstruct a lot of the fuck shit, okay? My message can be applied to anything, to anyone. If you're white, Latino, Asian, whatever the situation is, just replace my words with something that is more familiar with you. And you see there is the exact same mathematics. We are all we got, okay? White supremacy is the biggest enemy. Capitalism is a fucking perversion. Okay, and they're doing this shit on purpose, suppressing me on purpose. The point is to frustrate me so much to give up. That's what they really want, okay? Because if you know how these things work, man, powers and principalities in higher places, if you knew how this thing works, Jesus fucking Christ, it will give you goosebumps. Because they cannot be explicitly racist. The algorithms is $1 trillion industry. If you are explicitly racist, all it takes is just one person of color to file a fucking heavy lawsuit and that person will win. So they are more passive with it. They're trying to frustrate people like myself to give up. Meanwhile, they let people, certain other people, with different phenotypes and, skin color and things like that get away with all kinds of fuck shit. It's a hot mess. But anyway, thank you to all the people who see the realness in my message. Thank you to the people who support me, even if it's one or two or three. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. And I pray to God Almighty to keep guiding us through this thing called life. And I will always remind people, in the end, one of the biggest things I appreciate about this life is at the end of the day, this life is only temporary. Thank God Almighty. Can you imagine if this life is all there is? Like if we die, this is it. God forbid. So I'm grateful that at the end of the day, we're just passing through. So remember, everyone, white, black, men, women, everything, remember, this life is an illusion. We're all passing through. So do not get sucked into this life. Don't get sucked into the illusions of this life. Nothing here is what it's everything here now wash. So the only way to overcome this thing is to do your best intentionally. You have to intentionally do your best. If you intentionally do your best, you win by default, okay? And that is the point of my message, to deconstruct a lot of the fuck shit in the sad ass world. And if you agree with me, and if you see the deepness in my message, and my skin color is not a problem, my nationality is not a problem, my accent is not a problem, my sexual orientation is not a problem, then you are most definitely in the right place. Let's get this shit together. If not now, when? Because look, now is all we got, okay? Now is all we got to get that shit together before we take our last breath in this world. Because once we do it, it's a wrap, okay? Let's get it. Uche, peace and love.